Is it time for recess yet? I'm so glad you found time to join us here on the Childcare Director's Chair, where Erica Secoccio shares her best practices that she's refined through her passion of directing childcare centers over the last 23 years. From parenting interaction, systems to save you time, money, and stress, to profitability. She shares it all from the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hey, it's Erica here, and I've got something super exciting to share with you. If you're in the world of early childhood education, you cannot miss the Early Childhood Empowerment Conference. And I'm not just saying that. Trust me, this is where the magic happens. Over the course of 3 days, we're all about learning, connecting, and reigniting that spark that brought you into the field in the first place. And let me tell you, this conference is packed with goodness. Day one is all about leadership. We've got 5 incredible presenters who will walk you through the business side of running your program. Plus, it's more intimate, a retreat-style day with only 80 administrators, so you'll get tons of face time and an opportunity to connect. And to close out the day, a fun, hilarious comedy show and dinner with Jay Yoder from the Board Teacher Comedy Tour. He graces the stages all over the country. Day 2 is a day full-blown conference with 50 vendors, 14 amazing speakers, plus 2, not 1, but 2 keynote addresses that will leave your head full of fresh ideas. Oh, and did I mention, you can also get a free professional headshot. You can even hop on an ECE podcast and share your expertise with the world. So much fun packed into one day. And then day 3, you get to relax. We're heading over to Urban Sweat, where you can treat yourself however you want. Whether you want to unwind in a Himalayan salt cave, you want to get into a yoga class, or just enjoy a relaxing massage, you will leave totally recharged. You can book your services directly with Rafa and pick exactly what you need. So are you in? Don't miss out 3 days of empowerment, inspiration, and just pure connection with your ECE community. I can't wait to see you there, so let's do this. Links below. See you soon. Hey there, and welcome back to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. I'm your host, Erica Secoccio, and I'm so glad we're together today. Whether you're a childcare director, a center manager, or a team leader, we all know that leadership is a journey. We grow, we learn, and hopefully we inspire the people around us to do the same. Now, I want you to think for a moment. How do you lead? Do you feel like you're having the impact that you want on your staff, on your families, and the children in your care? Or perhaps you're feeling a bit stuck and looking for ways to up your leadership game. Well, today's episode is all about the 5 levels of leadership by John Maxwell. And if you're in a leadership role, this framework can really help you evaluate where you're at and show you how to grow further. It'll break down the different ways that it will apply to your role in early childhood leadership. And by the end, you'll have some practical ways to take your leadership to the next level. And I have to tell you, I selected this book, for those of you who listen on a regular basis, I selected this book because I just came back from Florida, and I am officially so excited to announce that I am a John Maxwell coach and team member. And, we think about leadership so often in our roles as childcare directors, and sometimes we feel good about it, and other days we don't. And so I really thought as I was reading through this book and listening to John speak, how it made so much sense. So let's talk a little bit about it today. So the level 1 is your position when you're leading by your title. That's the very beginning. The first level is position, and this is the one we're all probably familiar with. At this level, your leadership is tied to your title. You're the director or the supervisor or the lead teacher. And because of that, people follow you. Not necessarily because they love your leadership style, but because they have to. So what does that look like in practice? Well, this is a level where your position defines your influence. People follow you because you have the title and a role, but it's not because they're particularly motivated to do so. They're simply just doing their job. Leadership here at this level is largely about managing tasks and ensuring that everything in the center runs according to guidelines and regulations. You're overseeing operations, you're managing staff, schedules, ensuring compliance, which is important, but it can feel a little bit distant from creating a positive and motivated culture. The challenge at this level is that if your leadership is only based on your title, it's easy to fall into a routine where your team follows you out of obligation, but not inspiration. For example, as a childcare director, your title grants you authority to make decisions and lead your team. But it's the next levels of leadership that will help you inspire and influence them beyond just because I said so. And there is that amazing quote, which I have said more than once, from Simon Sinek. But leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those who are in your charge. So ask yourself this: how often do you rely on your title to get things done? And what are some of the ways that you could build a connection with your team beyond just your authority? So things you want to ask yourself. Now, the second level is where we move up. Level 2 is permission. This is where things get a little bit exciting and they start to shift. Leadership is no longer just about your title, but about the relationship. And at this level, people follow you because they want to. They trust you, they feel valued, they believe in your leadership. So what does that look like? Well, leadership at this stage is all about building mutual respect. You begin to understand that it's not enough just to be a figurehead, but you need to connect with your team, with your children and your families on a personal level. You're no longer just giving orders. You're actively listening to your staff. You're acknowledging their needs, and you're fostering an environment where they feel heard and respected. When you build relationships, trust deepens, and you can lead with much higher degree of collaboration. Your leadership shifts from simply focusing on tasks to focusing on creating a positive, nurturing environment where everyone feels valued and understood. And in early childhood settings, this is really where you want to start, building a strong sense of community and teamwork. For example, you might schedule regular one-on-one check-ins with your team members to understand how they're feeling in their roles and to address any concerns they might have. You might also spend time with parents to ensure that they feel included in their child's learning and development. As Teddy Roosevelt said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So ask yourself this: do you take the time to connect with your team on a personal level? What could you do today to build a stronger, more supportive relationship with your team? Now, let's move on to level 3, which is production, where leadership is about results. People follow you because of what you've accomplished and what you continue to achieve. What does this look like? Well, at this level, your leadership is focused on getting results, achieving measurable goals that benefit your center, your team, and the children in your care. And you've proven that you're capable of not just managing day-to-day tasks, but of driving meaningful change and progress. People follow you because they can see that you're delivering tangible outcomes. You're not just talking about ideas, you're making things happen. And leadership at this stage is all about execution. It's not just about planning, it's about follow through and ensuring that your ideas come to life in ways that positively impact the children and the families you serve. This is a level where your leadership starts to be recognized for making a real difference. In your childcare setting, you might see this level reflected in the successful implementation of new educational practices that improve children's learning outcomes, or in the growth of parent engagement activities that lead to more involved families. And when your center starts to see positive change, your team will see you as a leader who can deliver results. Now, ask yourself this: what specific results have you helped your center achieve recently? Maybe it was a quality rating. Maybe it was you helped Some folks get their certification or enroll in school. Maybe it was you had a parent board meeting that went amazing, and the feedback from your families was nothing but gushing of all the things you've improved. So think about the last time that you've done some things that were measurable. Level 4. This is where I love people development, leading by reproduction. Leaders make more leaders, let's face it. So let's talk about level 4. This is where your leadership starts to grow exponentially. You're not just getting things done, you're now focused on developing other leaders. People follow you because you've helped them develop into the leaders that they are. What does that look like? Leadership at this level is all about empowering others and giving them the skills, the confidence, and the opportunities they need to lead. You're focused on helping others grow, not just in their current roles, but in preparing them for future leadership positions. It's all about mentoring and coaching and providing constructive feedback that helps others become better versions of themselves. I love that area. The goal here is to reproduce yourself as a leader. As you invest in your staff's growth, you help them become leaders in their own right. And this has a ripple effect throughout your entire center. And in early childhood education settings, this could look like offering professional development opportunities to your team, or even better yet, when your team starts to develop professional development for other team members. Guiding teachers in improving their classroom management skills or preparing staff to take on leadership roles in areas like parent communication or team collaboration. And as John Maxwell says, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And if that is not everything I'm about, I don't know what is. What about you? I am actively helping my team grow as leaders is a question you want to reflect on. What can you do to provide more opportunities for professional development within your center, or maybe even better yet, your whole community? What about your whole community? And then there is the pinnacle, which is level 5. And finally, we reach the pinnacle. It's the highest level of leadership. This is where your leadership becomes about legacy. You lead because of respect that you have earned. And people follow you not just because of your position, but because of who you are and what you stand for. God, I know so many of us strive to get to that level, and it takes years of time and practice and just keep moving forward. At this stage, you've built a lasting legacy as a leader. People follow you because they respect your character, your vision, and the work that you've done to create a positive, thriving environment. Your influence is felt not just in your center, but throughout your community. You've developed a culture of leadership that will continue long after you leave. You've developed leaders at all levels. Your influence extends far beyond your immediate team. Your legacy is about leaving a culture of leadership, empowerment, and positive change that will continue as long and long after you're gone, as long as you are just working and continuing to be the best that you can be and inspiring those around you. As a childcare director or leader, this could mean you've created a center that's known for exceptional care, or the development of staff and a reputation in a community that's making a significant impact on the lives of children. You know, John says lots of amazing things, and I hope that you will really dig deeper into his thoughts around leadership. Here's another quote that he has that I love too. You know, the highest calling of leadership is to unlock the potential of others. What a gift to be able to do that. What kind of legacy do you want to leave as a leader? And how can you build a sustained leadership culture in your center that lasts long after you're gone? So these are wonderful things to think about. So there you have it, the 5 levels, a very condensed version, but the 5 levels of leadership by John Maxwell. To quickly recap: position, leadership by title; permission, leadership by relationship; production, leadership by results; people development, leadership by developing others; and pinnacle, leadership by respect. As you think about your leadership journey, remember this. Leadership isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. It's definitely a process. You'll move through all these levels at different times in your career, and sometimes you'll shift between them as your leadership style evolves. But the ultimate goal is to lead with influence and make a positive, lasting impact, not just in your center, but in the lives of everyone around you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this episode gave you some actionable insights that you can take and apply right away. Don't forget to subscribe for more childcare leadership tips and strategies to help you succeed. I'll catch you next time on the Childcare Director's Chair podcast.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Childcare Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Childcare Director's Chair.